Hi guys, it's Opheana and Sikaal here. Today we wanted to share with you our perspective on the Law of One.
The Law of One, beautiful. We're spiritual life coaches, teachers of universal consciousness, and part of our mission here is to really ignite and awaken starseeds, help Lightworkers to lock into their missions as well. That's a core part of our mission.
Yes. So the Law of One is a channeling from the 80s with a woman who brought through, Carla Ruckert, who brought through the Law of One with a number of others who assisted her to channel this material. We find it to be 100% clean channeling, and so we love it. We can feel it. We can
universal truth.
Universal truth,
yep.
Universal wisdom. It sits with everything we've learned in this lifetime, we've remembered in this lifetime, and so we wanted to share it with those of you who haven't yet connected with it. Yeah. It really assists in the idea of the densities that we talk about, you know, and so it'd be good to have a read up on that. We will share the link, a couple of links about it in just below in the description. David Wilcock has been a huge share of the information of Law of One. Divine Cosmos is his website. He's got a really nice study guide on that, so it's quite really easy to read. There's another website, I forget, LL Research.
Yeah, LL Research, something like that.
Yeah, which is the original website you can get it from. It's on YouTube, you can get it on audio, you can buy the books. It's everywhere. Beautiful materials.
So within the Law of One, why we wanted to talk about it, because it's one of the few pieces of information that we found pure universal truth that really sits with us, that sits with what we're here to bring with our mission as well. And one of the things it talks about, like Opheana mentioned, was the densities. Now you guys are all familiar with the moving from 3D to 5D, fifth dimension. Well, the densities are another way of saying that. From third density, it's kind of a consciousness where we're in now as humanity, moving through to the fourth density, which is more telepathic, heart-based and all of that. You know, when you get an ascension consciousness reading, you also get what density your soul is originally from. And so that helps you to understand, well, if I'm a starseed from 6th density, I know I can remember very quickly and assist humanity and Earth to move through that transition from 3rd density to 4th density. Now, one of the individuals that is channeled, or the collective that is channeled, is Ra. So who is Ra? That's one of the questions. And, you know, I don't know if any of you guys have tuned into a series that is still on Gaia, Cosmic Disclosure, with David Wilcock and Corey Good. And they talk about Ra a lot, and Ra, you know, worked with Corey a lot as a very large, 8-foot large blue avian being. And Ra was the original energy that was channeled through Carla Ruckert into the Law of One materials, the group consciousness. And the reason we find it so profound is because it's very technical but very precise, and it answers a lot of the questions in a very matter-of-fact way. We happen to be very connected to the avian energy, which we found out over the years. We love that energy, and that energy streams very powerfully through the Law of One as well.
Yes, beautiful. It answers a lot of questions that you may have in relation to learning, in relation to discernment, in relation to service to self, service to others. What does it all mean, you know, as a light worker, as a starseed, just as a general good human being, you know, how much do I serve, and what is service really? And you know, to not go deeply into over compassionate, because that becomes, as they say, a distortion. It distorts your feel. It's like, oh, I've got to give because they need it, but it's hurting me. I'm getting, you know, but I've got to give it. That's a distortion, and they don't even, there's no judgment there. It's just the reality of, and so there's the teaching of, you know, less distortion, more of your, in our perspective, presence can ground here, and then you can teach you know, what your presence wants to teach without the distorted lens over everything that you see. And so you can stream it from wisdom, from truth, from universal truth, rather than the distortions of love, the distortions of I have to give and then resent. Also the distortions of service to self. You know, so many people in the early stages of the consciousness level, it's all about survival, it's all about service to self, it's all about, you know, power, money, sex, fame. It's all about serving the whole within the self, not the good whole, I mean the emptiness. Not the whole, the other. Service to others is the whole. And and that's what they talk about a lot as well, you know, we are one, and we are one being. And it was really confirmed to me once when I was taken into the Logos, the cosmos, and then I really saw it in the Law of One, that we're within a being. We're literally cells within a being. It's quite extraordinary, and my mind just exploded with, hi, that's why we're one. I'm like, I don't feel like that person over there all the time. But we're really one. We're just bouncing around in this reality. So there's so much confirmation in there and beautiful information, and you can grab pieces of it and then chew on it for quite some time and process it and integrate it, and just spend a bit of time on it, and then really allow it to move through your life, and then go back, you know, take your time with it, or just eat it all up.
And it really shows a lot of the history of, you know, Earth, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe. It talks a lot about how that energy is created and how consciousness streams through that, and how you are connected in it. Like Opheana said, we are all one, and we're all from the same source, from the same energy, but we all have our own expression of source as well. We are our own unique energetic signature. And all of this is stuff that is discussed in the Law of One in a way that really makes sense, and from a very ancient, hundreds of thousands of years back, or millions of years back perspective. So it's beautiful to see and to let that channel through you. So I think one of the main reasons we wanted to share it is, if you haven't spent any time studying it, it's a lot of work to study all the books. We haven't done that either, but we've done a lot of pieces of it, and we've definitely done the study guide. We like the study guide on Divine Cosmos, was very helpful. You've done a lot of other reading as well on LL Research, I think, but it just helps to take it in mini chunks and to chew on it, and it'll really help your presence to allow a broader and broader vision. A remembrance of what's really happening with Gaia and humanity at this time, and why it's happening, and why it's so relevant to work on your own energetics and service to others instead of service to self. Meaning, be the puzzle piece you came here to be with your spirit. It doesn't mean think with your mind, your lower mind, well, how can I serve people? What can I do? Well, I'll go out and help old ladies cross the street, even though maybe if that is your mission, that's beautiful. Or I'll go and do this or do that, you know, the typical things that society sees as service to. But your service to may be bringing through your amazing art. Your service may be bringing through your music. Your service may be teaching children. Your service may be this and this and this. So service to others is you being all that you can be in your authentic, streaming self, your presence emerging into your vessel. That's service to others. And so service to others is not taking care of your own energetic field, not dealing with your own issues and your own wounding and your own storylines and your own beliefs, but looking outward and seeing, where can I be of service? No, that's the wrong way around. Sort yourself out. That's when you can be of service to the others. And the old analogy, oxygen mask, first on yourself and then you can help your kids.
Yes.
That's the idea, because if you do it the other way around, it's not going to be very beneficial. And that goes with the service to others very much, you know, and service to self speaks for itself. It's like you're oriented on your ego, your own needs, very low consciousness level, You know, on the ascension consciousness scale, that's the 250s and lower, fully service to self, fully service to self, to money, greed, sex, fame, all of those things that Opheana was mentioning before. And when you want to move through that, that's when you can raise in consciousness. You know, you take care of your diet. You hear, you know, Corey who talks about a high vibratory diet all the time. That's part of that as well. You know, take care of your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, all this stuff we talk about all the time. Clear it out, take care of your beliefs, raise in consciousness, align with your presence path, and dare to start making that transition or continue on the transition to fourth density, because that reality is already here. You simply need to move yourself into it.
Yes. Just on the service to others. You can't truly love others until you love yourself, and that is why it is so important to do the work on yourself. You know, and it's not about being perfect and ascended, because again, so many humble people hold themselves back from doing anything because it's like, I'm not ascended yet. How can I put my work out there? How can I do this? It's not that.
Yeah.
It's, you can't truly love others until you deal with all of this, because otherwise you are projecting that distortion out.
And a really good analogy is the 51%, you know, the learn-teach model, the teach-learn model. When you have moved through an initiation or a growth area in your life for 51%, you can start assisting others with it. Because if we all had to wait until we were perfect at something, guess what? None of us would ever do anything, because we're never 100% perfect at something. We're always growing and learning and evolving. And so the teaching while you're learning, don't do it too early though, because you need to have a certain idea that you understand what you're doing, or else you're going to be bringing your own distortions through to others. So take care of your own field, and then you'll be guided when to move forward on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's about learning. Let's use an example, a modality, using it on yourself. And then when you feel you've mastered it beyond that 51%, that's when you can maybe share it with others in a one-to-one. And then as you master that more and more, and then you can share it with more than one, to a small group or to a larger group. And then beyond that to community, etc. And so it's really allowing your growth, but first stepping into it and really trusting that the more that you follow your guidance, it's not service to self. The more you follow your excitement, what you want, because I'm talking the you know, the I of the I of the I am. So it's a little joke. It's really about finding that place of centeredness, so that you can then bring through the clarity, not the distortion. And that's why it's so important to take care of self, and then it can come through with strength without distortion. So
and as you could, I feel we're getting close to completion on this. When you want to take in this material, ask for the raw energy to be with you, because then you will take it in from a much broader multidimensional perspective, and you will truly understand more about your mission here on Earth. Your role here. So.
And just to share as well, you know, with our ascension consciousness readings, we get a range of people from 4th density to 6th density. The majority is 6th density. So there are a lot of 6th density beings here on Earth that have come from the group consciousness energy that the Law of One streamed through. So really, if it really is in alignment with you, you will feel it, and they say yes. So really, have a look at it if you haven't yet, and feel into it if it's truth for you, and enjoy reconnecting with your family.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much, and take it all in and enjoy the Law of One. We have certainly loved it and still love it all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. See you next time. Many blessings.
Many blessings.